Hey guys, what's up? I told you guys that was the last video was gonna be the last video today, but I just realized I really gotta get this stuff on my chest. I haven't made an advice of the, I haven't made a wisdom of the day, whatever video in a while, so I figured I'd make this one. One thing I do in my daily routine, I forgot to mention also is I try to come up with three. I look for three different quotes every single day. Like I have a piece of paper where I write down my own wisdom quotes, the stuff that I come up with myself. Then I have another notepad where I write down the stuff that inspired me. Like when I read from famous people of the past or whatever, people that accomplished great things, I look at their biographies and their quotes, and I write down, like the quotes that inspire me, the quotes that sound badass, the quotes that instill courage in me and things like that. And then when I go back to my own notepad, I'm inspired to come up with my own quotes. So one of the quote of the what I'm gonna do now, wisdom of the day is pretty much either gonna be me giving you guys advice on the shit that I learned going through like hard times, or it's gonna be stuff that I learned from other people. Or it's gonna be like in today's case, it's gonna be wisdom quotes that I read from somebody else. I think this was Mark Twain that said that. Today's wisdom quote is it's pretty simple. Courage is mastery of fear. Courage is mastery of fear. Meaning, for those of you who don't get it, all it's saying is courage does not mean that you don't have fear. People think that those who are courageous don't have fear. That's not what it is. People that are courageous, people that go through like hard shit and they're able to just face it and remain grounded and and immovable and people that don't move pretty much. What I'm saying is people that don't move when they're facing adversity, because you have people that when they face trouble they start shaking, they start making crazy decisions, they panic, they cry, and you have people that when they face adversity they're like a mountain, they don't move. That's really what courage is. You're able to face adversity and not move. Now, by saying courage is mastery of fear, all it's saying is you still feel fear. A courageous man still feels fear. He still feels it. The only difference is how do you respond to it. Like I said earlier, do you move? Are you shaking? Or do you remain grounded, in your belief or in your cause like a mountain? Master fear. I learned this the hard way. I realized a lot of the stuff that I accomplished in life, I only accomplished them when I decided to disobey my fears. When I decided to hear the voice of fear and disobey. We good at disobeying shit. We disobey our parents all the time. We disobey the law. We disobey God or whatever you believe in. So how come when it comes to fear, we can't disobey its voice? That's the way I see it. Every time I'm afraid to do something, I see it as I'm not scared. It's fear talking to me. It's fear telling me, hey, you cannot do this. And my job is to disobey you. My job is to tell fear, fuck you, get out of my way. I will get this done. And in fact, the spirit of fear only comes to you when he knows that you're going to do something that's going to catapult you to the next level. If it's something that's not going to increase you, you know that you won't be scared of it. But when it's something that's going to take you from A to B, that's when fear comes in and tries to take you off the right path because it doesn't want you to get from point A to point B. So I see fear as a voice that has to be disobeyed constantly by the overcomer, by the champion. If you want to be a warrior, you want to be a champion, you want to make it in life, you gotta learn how to be disobedient to fear. That is. So develop that, that mentality, and it's called courage. That's what courage. That's the way I define courage. That's why when I read that quote, I was like, wow, he took that right out of my mouth. Courage is mastery of fear. So my attitude now is when I face a challenge and then I feel fear. The first thing on my mind, you know me, Team 3D, I'm all about dominance. The first thing on my mind when I feel fear is I'm gonna dominate that shit. How dare you put fear in my head? Like the moment something scares me, I get mad. I'm like, who are you to like put fear in me? Whether it's an obstacle, I don't care if it's a project. I don't care if it's your professor telling you, hey, type a 20-page paper or whatever. Anything that makes me nervous, makes me afraid, even if it's a girl, I do something out of it. I'm like, no, nothing is gonna put fear in my mind. Nah, that's my body. It's my life. Like it's in my hands. I don't know how to explain it. So anything that has the nerves to put fear in me is gonna get dominated. And unless you dominate whatever you're afraid of, you're gonna remain a slave for the rest of your life. Because every time you face that thing, you're gonna turn around and put your head down like a fucking dog. You're gonna put your tail down and walk away. No, come back to your fears. Pull out a piece of paper if you have to, like I do. Write down all your fears and vow, swear to yourself that you're gonna conquer those fears. That's your job. That's how you're gonna find fulfillment, is when you conquer your fears. Because if you have nothing to conquer, then what is it to brag about? So think about it, guys. Courage is the mastery of fear. So when fear comes to you, it's like playing baseball. Somebody throws a ball at you. You have two options. You could let that ball hit you in the head, or you could use it and turn into what? A home run. You could swing that bat. So when you feel fear, you have two options. Put your tail behind your fucking legs. What the fuck just happened? Oh, my battery's down. Yeah. When you face fear, you have two options. Put your tail behind your legs and walk away like a dog, or pull out that baseball bat and score a home run. Think about it, guys. Deuces, I'm gonna work. I'm so